Hey there, welcome once again. Today, we are diving into an exciting topic. We are exploring 13 foods that are culprits when it comes to causing inflammation. Now, you might wonder, isn't some inflammation beneficial? Absolutely, it indeed is. Inflammation is our body's innate way of shielding itself. It's a protector in disguise. However, the concern arises when inflammation stops being an occasional guest and becomes a permanent resident, leading to chronic conditions. Chronic inflammation is not something to be taken lightly. It's often considered the foundational element of numerous illnesses. This persistent inflammation can indeed be a party pooper, hindering you from living your life to the fullest, brimming with joy and activity. By identifying and steering clear from certain foods, you'll be paving the way towards not only diminishing the risk of enduring chronic ailments, but also boosting your spirits, revitalizing your energy, and enhancing your overall well-being. So, stay tuned and don't miss out, especially when we disclose a food item at number 1 that many have completely overlooked. Now, speaking of inflammation, most of us visualize a puffy ankle or a swollen knee post, a sprain or injury, right? But the truth is, inflammation is not just an outward swelling. It's a clandestine agent that operates silently, especially when our eating habits are off balance and regular physical activity is not part of our routine. The underlying reason is that inflammation is, in essence, the body's reflexive response to different forms of stress, be it nutritional, physical, environmental, or emotional. Once the body enters the realm of inflammation, it becomes a breeding ground for a plethora of health issues ranging from weight fluctuations, debilitating migraines, allergic reactions, common colds, and flust to more grave health concerns like gout, cardiovascular diseases, strokes, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and yes, the much-feared cancer. Even the individuals who are the epitome of health cannot escape inflammation entirely. Living in our contemporary toxin-laden world almost guarantees some level of inflammation lurking within. So the pressing question is, what proactive steps are you contemplating to mitigate it? So let's delve into what actually kindles inflammation. There are several catalysts like inadequate sleep, relentless stress, dehydration, tobacco consumption, excessive intake of alcohol, and imbalances in gut flora. However, the pivotal and most amendable factor is indeed the consumption of an inflammatory diet. Without further ado, let's unveil the 13 notorious foods that are inflammation inducers, and it would be wise to keep them at bay. By substituting these inflammatory culprits with nutritious alternatives, you can embark on a journey towards a healthier and more vibrant life today. All right, kicking off our countdown with number 13, corn. Now, the ancient ancestral corn was packed with nutrients, acting as a healthful grain. However, the corn we stumble upon in our local grocery stores and within numerous processed foods sadly doesn't hold the same benefits. This contemporary variety of corn is heavily genetically modified and is a magnet for pesticide residue, especially glyphosate, a prevalent pesticide showered upon genetically engineered crops. This pesticide plays havoc with our gut flora by exterminating the beneficial bacteria, giving the harmful ones a free rein. Such imbalance prompts an inflammatory reaction, which can result in painful joints. Beyond this, glyphosate is a contributing factor to numerous digestive ailments, including inflammatory bowel disease and celiac disease. You are likely to encounter this form of corn in conventional baked goods, cereals, breakfast bars, processed meat, and even corn syrup. A smart move. Opt for organic corn or substitute it with wholesome small veggies like peas and beans. Swinging to number 12, common cooking oils. These oils, found in numerous kitchens and eateries, are laden with omega-6 fatty acids, but are tragically scarce in omega-3 fats. An overconsumption of omega-6 sets off the production of pro-inflammatory chemicals that cause turmoil within your body. These oils are typically found in polyunsaturated vegetable oils like grapeseed, cottonseed, safflower, corn, and sunflower oils, and also in soy and peanut oils. They are frequent components in processed and fast foods, baked goods, and fried items. The solution: use healthier alternatives like macadamia oil, extra virgin olive oil, or avocado oil. And when you are uncertain, coconut oil is your best bet for cooking. Now let's talk about number 11, sugar. A diet high in sugar not only threatens your pearly whites and hikes up the risks of obesity, but also acts as a precursor to inflammation and an array of chronic conditions. like metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. Its highly acidic nature triggers inflammation directly. It's often found in sugar-sweetened beverages and various sweets like candies, desserts, and snacks. To avoid the adverse effects of sugar, lean towards natural sweeteners such as maple syrup, agave, honey, or blackstrap molasses. If the craving hits, fresh berries or all-natural dried fruits are your friends. And that brings us to number 10, artificial sweeteners. These processed sweet entities release inflammatory messengers, known as cytokines. Notably, corn syrup induces inflammation within the liver, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Be vigilant for ingredients like corn syrup, dextrose, fructose, golden syrup, maltose, sorghum syrup, and sucrose in sweets and processed foods. What's the alternative? Avoid synthetic sweeteners and gravitate towards natural sweeteners like dates and honey. And if you are watching your calorie intake, stevia can be a more beneficial choice over Splenda. Moving forward to number 9, trans fats. These fatty acids are infamous for their detrimental effects on our body, not only elevating the levels of harmful cholesterol, but also plummeting the levels of the beneficial ones, all while amplifying inflammation. The alarming effects of trans fats have been under the radar since the early 1990s, thanks to the studies by the Harvard School of Public Health. Even saturated fats are no saints. They instigate inflammation in the fat tissues, which is a harbinger of heart diseases and can intensify arthritis-related inflammation. You'll often find these in deep-fried, fast, baked, frozen foods and margarine. Your best bet is to opt for products devoid of trans fats, partially hydrogenated oil, or vegetable shortening. And it's prudent to be skeptical about commercially prepared foods. Chances are, they might contain trans fats unless explicitly stated otherwise. Next, at number 8, dairy products. Shockingly, around 60% of the global population struggles with digesting milk. Researchers argue that the ability to digest milk post-infancy is abnormal. Milk can act as an allergen, initiating inflammatory reactions like stomach discomfort, constipation, diarrhea, skin conditions, and breathing difficulties in some individuals. Additionally, the hormones, pesticides, and antibiotics given to cattle can find their way into milk, exacerbating the issues. Beyond the obvious, dairy lurks in bread, cookies, crackers, cakes, cream sauces, protein powders, and certain cereals. A wise alternative would be to replace milk with coconut or homemade nut milk, and opt for coconut oil and cashews instead of butter and cheese. Number 7 brings us to non-organic meat. The commercially available meats usually come from animals fed on a diet abundant in inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids, like soybeans and corn, and are deficient in the anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. These meats are also laden with antibiotics and hormones. Generally, most beef, pork, and poultry available in supermarkets and restaurants are sourced from feedlot farms. The remedy? Look for free-range organic meat from animals nurtured on a natural diet of grass and vegetables. And now, number 6, processed meat. These are the meats that are cured, salted, smoked, or preserved in some way, often laden with added nitrates, corn products, soy, preservatives, and coloring agents. These elements render the meat so toxic that it's categorized as carcinogenic. Quite a bitter pill to swallow. You will encounter these in items like ham, hot dogs, sausages, lunch meats, bacon, and salami. The healthier route? Stick to fresh meat, poultry, and fish, or choose organic alternatives, such as smoked salmon or beef jerky. Sliding into number 5, we have alcohol. It's common knowledge that alcohol can irritate and inflame various parts of our body, such as the esophagus, larynx, and most notably, the liver. Persistent inflammation due to prolonged alcohol consumption can be a precursor to tumor development in the affected areas. You'll encounter alcohol in beers, ciders, liqueurs, and wines. A healthier substitute. Opt for clean, refreshing drinks like pure, filtered water, a cup of tea, or some freshly squeezed fruit juice. Arriving at number 4, grains. The grains that grace our tables today are far from their natural state, being genetically altered, highly processed, and doused with herbicides and pesticides. Some grains, notably wheat, have been refined to the extent that they induce severe allergy-like symptoms in a majority of people. Wheat is often bleached, stripped of its natural nutrients, and then artificially enriched with synthetic vitamins and minerals. explaining why most white flour is labeled as enriched. Additionally, like refined sugars, refined grains have a high glycemic index, which can accelerate the onset of degenerative diseases. You'll find these in white flour, white bread, noodles, pasta, biscuits, and pastries. A preferable alternative: opt for ancient, healthier grains like amaranth, quinoa, spelt, rye, millet, buckwheat, and chia, which can be found in health food stores as whole grains or prepared whole grain flour. Diving into number 3, we meet MSG, or monosodium glutamate. It's a prevalent preservative and food additive used to enhance flavor in processed foods. It's derived from various sources like fermented starch, corn sugar, molasses, sugar cane, or sugar beets. For those sensitive to MSG, consumption can lead to symptoms like headaches, facial pressure, drowsiness, and numbness, or tingling in the face, back, and arms. Some people might even experience flushing, sweating, chest pain, and weakness. MSG is notably widespread in store-bought Asian foods and dishes prepared in Asian restaurants. A more natural alternative: season your food with a sprinkle of salt and pepper, or amplify its flavor with various spices. If you're apprehensive about MSG in your favorite Chinese restaurant, try preparing Asian food at home. Number 2. Refined salts. Sodium is vital for our bodies for various functions, including nerve and muscle function, and blood pressure regulation. However, an excess of it can lead to numerous health issues like high blood pressure, kidney problems, low bone density, inflammation, and fluid retention. Most refined salts undergo high-temperature processing and contain many additives. They are omnipresent in processed foods, fast foods, and most restaurant foods. A healthier alternative is to use unrefined sea salt or Himalayan salt. Also, consider enhancing the flavor of your meal with herbs and spices instead of extra salt. Number 1. Personal sensitivity foods. This spot is intentionally left blank as it is designed for you to fill it in with foods that you might be sensitive to. Unlike food allergies, food intolerance symptoms can take a longer time to manifest and are often brushed off as minor ailments. Prolonged exposure to intolerant foods can cause inflammation leading to chronic diseases. Common allergens include gluten, milk, nuts, eggs, and even nightshade vegetables. If you suspect you're intolerant to a certain food, try eliminating it from your diet for 2 weeks and observe the changes. Post the elimination period, reintroduce it, and monitor your reactions. In conclusion, managing inflammation is crucial for maintaining good health. It begins with conscious food choices, focusing on unprocessed whole foods, and staying well hydrated. Engage in regular physical activity, manage stress, and ensure adequate sleep to allow your body to recover and reduce inflammation. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. And let us know which inflammatory food you are considering to cut from your diet today in the comments below. Also, don't forget to explore our other videos for more insights on maintaining a healthy lifestyle.